And the next two, when she learns of her dead friend's murder. Dear friend's murder. Her dead friend's murder. By the way, I don't know why I do these like dramatic pauses at the end. It seems silly. Such a mess. Such a mess. Hi everyone, it's Audrey and welcome back to Chapter I Converse. Today's video is going to be a little bit book haul, so a few books that I have welcomed into my world, / a little bit book giveaway. So somehow in all the chaos of life, I failed to acknowledge the fact that I passed 1,000 subscribers on BookTube, and I failed to thank all of you for making that happen. So thank you guys. I don't know where my head was. I had like posted something on Instagram and was like, I need to do that video. And then I just didn't. And I was sitting here today thinking like, duh, you need to be doing this because you also have a book to give away. So in the interest of suspending suspense, do you suspend suspense? Making it suspenseful. I love thrillers. I'm making it suspenseful. The giveaway is going to come at the end. And obviously you can fast forward or you can sit here and listen to the handful of books that I have picked up in the past few weeks or so. Yeah, so let's do that. Let's talk about some new in books. The first two books I have are from Amazon Prime and the Prime Reads feature, which means they were both free to me as a Prime member, and they are both in the mystery thriller genre. I've talked about this before. It is a great way to get some early access to some books. It's helping me discover new authors in some cases. So this month, again, 2 thrillers. The first one is called Little Voices, and it's by Vanessa Lilly. And I'm just gonna read the description for you guys, which is, Devin Burgess is in the throes of a high-risk birth when she learns of her dear friend's murder. The police quickly name another friend as the chief suspect, but Devin doesn't buy it. And despite her difficult recovery, she decides to investigate. Haunted by postpartum problems that manifest as a cruel voice in her head, Devin is barely getting by. Yet her instincts are still sharp, and she's bent on proving her friend's innocence. But as Devin digs into the evidence, the voice in her head grows more insistent, the danger more intense. Each layer is darker, more disturbing, and she's not sure she or her baby can survive what lies in the truth. So, unreliable narrator for sure. Friend's dead, another friend's accused of it. You're trying to clear the friend, you're trying to solve your friend's murder, but you're digging into things and bad things are coming up, it sounds like. So we will see what that's all about. Have never heard of this author before, had never heard of this book before, but I'm happy to give it a go. And then the second book I got is called Drowning with Others, and this is by Linda Keir. And this one is, prep school sweethearts Ian and Andy Copeland are envied by everyone they know. They have successful businesses, a beautiful home in St. Louis, and their oldest daughter, Cassidy, is following in their footsteps by attending the prestigious Glen Lake Academy. I love a boarding school book. Then a submerged car is dredged from the bottom of a swimming hole near campus. So are the remains of a former writer-in-residence who vanished 20 years ago during Ian and Andy's senior year. This one just sounds so good to me. So good. So when Cassidy's journalism class begins to investigate the death, Ian and Andy's high school secrets rise to the surface. Each has a troubled link to the man whose arrival and sudden disappearance once set the school on edge, and each has a reason to want him gone. As Cassie unwittingly edges closer to the truth, unspoken words, locked away for decades, will force Ian and Andy to question what they really know about themselves, about the past, and about a marriage built on a murderous lie. Ugh. This one sounds so good. So I was about to be like, I'm gonna read this right away. I'm gonna read this when I read this, but this one sounds really good to me. I love a boarding school. Duh, I love a thriller. I love that this daughter is gonna find out stuff about her parents that they obviously were trying to keep hidden. So this one just sounds every shade of fascinating to me. The next book I picked up is The Missing Years by Lexi Elliott, and I scored this on a great Apple Books deal the other day for $1.99, which is nuts. And like, this is why I still subscribe to BookBub and Amazon deals and all of that stuff, because you never know when you're gonna find a new release for pennies. And this is a book that Kayla at Books and Lala has talked about. It's one of her favorites of the year. I recently filmed a video where I talked about another Kayla recommendation that's her favorite book of all time, Dress Codes for Small Towns, that I didn't love, but I am optimistic about this because A, I love thrillers, B, I read The French Girl by Lexi Elliott and I enjoyed it, and C, it's got, again, this atmospheric, creepy, we are back in like a Scottish manor type of thing, a la Ruth Ware. I was gonna say Lock Every Door. Turn of the Key. So I'm kind of like feeling these vibes. We're getting into fall and this is like atmospheric and this might be a good spookathon read. But if you don't know about this one, I'm just reading it from my iPad. This is about a woman named Elisa Calder and she inherits the house in the Scottish moors, Highlands, middle of nowhere, eerie old Scottish manor. And her dad also is like one of the owners of it now. So she winds up returning there, some sort of family history. She hasn't been there in forever, sort of unwittingly goes back, but has to go back, and creepiness abounds all over the place. So it says, Alyssa, I don't know if it's Elisa or Alyssa, or Alsa, A-I-L-S-A, killing this name. Either way, she can't escape the claustrophobic feeling that the house itself is watching her, as if her past hungers to consume her. She also can't ignore how the neighborhood animals refuse to set one foot within the gates of the garden. When the first nighttime intruder shows up, Elisa fears that the manor's careless, rugged beauty could cost her everything. So I do think there is like a supernatural element to this book. I don't think it is all straight up, but we'll find out when I read it. But I'm excited. It's kind of like a atmospheric-y, kind of creepy cover too. So that one happened. The next book I picked up is nonfiction, and this is for all you writers out there. It's called The Describer's Dictionary, and this is by David Grams and Ellen S. Levine, a treasure of terms and literary quotations. And if you're wondering why I picked this up, I have 3 words for you. Taylor Jenkins Reid. So I talked about this in another video. I did an online writing course with her a couple weeks ago through She Writes University, and she talked about her researching process and her process in general about how she writes her books, and she shared tips and tricks and her go-tos and all of that, and she swore up and down that this book is a writer's best friend and no writer should be without it. And I kid you not, while we were doing the online class, I was adding this into my Amazon cart and buying it all at the same time, as I'm guessing all the other people who were in the class were doing. And it is, this is a new edition of the book, but it has everything from like how to describe physical features. So like it's talking about like if you're red-faced, you could be blushing, flushed, reddened, ruddy, rattled, florid. So it gives you, it's kind of like synonyms in some way. It talks about different face types, it talks about different face shapes, you know, different things with people. It talks about different things with animals, terrain and landscape, the solar system, structures and spaces. This probably sounds super dull to anyone who's not a writer. You know, like structures and spaces, it's like different rooms in a house, different types of a house, common architectural modifiers, postmodern style, colonial revival, saltbox colonial, mission. Like it gives you all these different descriptions for things, and I imagine will save you a heck of a time in Googling a whole bunch of things. But you can also just browse lights and colors, grayish, pale gray, bluish gray, purplish gray. You know, and it talks about ash gray, platinum, dove, smoke, mouse gray. Like just gives you all these great descriptions for things and how to really add, you know, character and color and life to your book and not have it feel so cookie cutter, but to really like evoke real feelings and images and really like nail it in a way that it's not just like it's a gray chair, you know, to really be able to dive into things. It's just patterns and edges, textures, shapes, and then it has all these quotes from different authors. It's just really pretty dang cool, and I don't know how this hadn't crossed my path before this class, but this is one of so many great tips that I picked up from Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I'm excited to use it as I dive into my writing. And the last 2 books I have to share with you guys are ones that I bought on Amazon. I don't know why that matters, but I decided to treat myself after my first paycheck and get myself some books because I work hard and I deserve it, damn it. And I finally pulled the trigger on 2 books that I have wanted. And the first one is Someone We Know by Shari LaPena. And this is her newest book. I heard a ton about it at Thriller Fest because she was there. I also got to check her in at the registration table, so I got to meet her, but didn't fangirl, just tried to be cool girl. But I've heard lots of great things about this. I listened to a few podcasts that Shari was on, and I got even more intrigued about this book. And this is kind of like a small town feel, and basically the son of one of the couples on the street has been breaking into his neighbors' houses to like use their internet. And the mom finds out about it, and she decides she's going to write anonymous letters to the neighbors apologizing for her son breaking into their house, but not admitting who it was. And it sets off kind of a chain of events. And it's kind of like, maybe you don't know your neighbors as well as you thought you did, and you never really know what people are capable of. So I think maybe someone dies. Yes. So when a woman down the street is found murdered, which happens after she sent all these anonymous letters, there's a lot of suspicion. There's a lot of questions. We're gonna find out because it's a thriller. So that's kind of all I know. But I did read The Couple Next Door, which I really liked. I have An Unwanted Guest, which I was kind of like saving for winter because it's a wintry kind of book. They're all standalone, so it doesn't matter what order I read them in, and I'm probably gonna read this one next. And then the last book I got, which should probably come as no surprise to you guys because I haven't shut up about it, I finally got The Chain. I was like watching and waiting and hoping it was gonna like drop down to that $10 price, but it didn't, and I got it, and I don't care. Sorry, not sorry. I needed to have this book. I've heard a lot of great things about it. I wanted to read it, and now I can, because here it is. And this is the twisted, messed up story about how someone's child is kidnapped, and they get the call that the only way to get their child back is to kidnap somebody else's child. And when they do that, the child who was kidnapped before theirs will be released. And it links this complete chain of events where you basically have to do completely screwed up, disturbing things to save your own child, and you have to put another parent through what you're going through by kidnapping theirs. So this sounds so incredibly good. I talked about in my Contemporary-a-thon video that like a book I was reading like wasn't dark. It was like so Hallmark movie to me. I'm gonna guess nothing about this is going to be Hallmarky, and I'm just pulling my hair. I'm here for it. So tons of great reviews on the back. Ella Fair Burke, Steve Kavanaugh, Meg Gardner, Dennis Lehane, Tana French. Yes, 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 Stephen King. This nightmarish story is incredibly propulsive and original. You won't shake it for a long time. I cannot pronounce stuff to save my life today. So here we go. It just looks so dang good, and I can't wait to read it. So that does it for the haul, if you can even call it that. I feel like you can't. It's, you know, 6 books over a few weeks, and like, sorry, not sorry, I'm very excited about my books. And honestly, one of them is an investment in my future because it's gonna make my writing better. And it was a personal recommendation from Taylor Jenkins Reid. So, I mean, come on, I had to get that one. But let me know if you guys have any books that are like super high on your list right now, or any books that you're watching, kind of pricing on and hoping to get your hands on. It's just fun. It's fun to like score a good deal on a book and, you know, bring a book that you have wanted to get into your world. But for anyone who has only been here because you care about the giveaway and you don't care about any of the new books that came in, it's that time. So like I said, I just passed 1,000 subscribers on my channel, and somehow I like in my head filmed a video for this but never filmed a video. And sort of around the same time, a second copy of a book that I already own came into my life, which is Girls Like Us by Christina Alger. So I got this book, so you know I have 2, at Thriller Fest, and I loved it, and I would love to be able to share it with you guys, because I thought it was a good read. It's like everything I love in a book. It is, doesn't really matter which one I hold up. It is our heroine sort of being forced to return to her hometown that she has left in the dust. Challenging family relationships. It's a thriller mystery. It is a mystery from the past and a mystery from the present. So there's just a whole lot of greatness and a whole lot of things that I love in here. It also takes place out in the Hamptons in New York. So I am from New York. I love a New York book. I love a Boston book. This is a New York book. So all sorts of good things. But I would love to share it with one of you. And here comes the part where some people are going to hate on me. It has to be a US giveaway only because I can't ship the book internationally without moving mountains. So US only. I'm sorry. But if you're interested, this is for people who are subscribed to my channel, so you have to be subscribed. I want to thank one of you personally and all of you collectively for getting me to this point. But if you're interested in the giveaway, leave a comment down below to let me know that you're interested. We're gonna kind of keep it simple here. I'm gonna run this for like 2 weeks from when the video goes up, so I will write the exact date down below, but I wanna say that brings us to like October 10th or 11-ish. So I will write that down below also, and then there'll be a video telling the winner who they are. So be subscribed, tell me you want to win this book. Thank you guys for subscribing, for supporting, for being here, for finding me, for engaging with me, for all of it. I've said this before, I will say it again. I started this channel, I kind of started filming videos last November. I feel like December 1 might have been when my first video went up, and it was after a long time of kind of debating doing it and being afraid to do it, but really wanting to be a part of the community and really desperate to connect with people and to do something creative. I was in such a personal rut that I just like needed to do stuff that was so against everything I would have done. No one who like knows me in real life would ever think that I would have done something like this, and the handful of people who do know that I have a booktube channel are still completely surprised that I've done something like this. But I have to say it has been like rewarding, and I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but it has been rewarding in ways that I never expected. It has been more fun in ways than I thought it could be. I just love everything about it, and I'm so grateful to all of you for being here, and for giving me folks to talk to and all that good stuff. So thank you guys again. Thanks for watching today. Thanks for watching always. I will be back with some more videos coming up soon, and I will see you in those. So have a good one, everybody. Bye.